The Helluva Boss Twitter account released a new preview of the next episode, so now's the best time to talk about everything we know, what theories we have, and what we should expect this episode to actually answer. My name is Deepcut, hit the subscribe button, and let's jump into it. Episode 4 of Helluva Boss takes us back to the Wrath Ring, where it would appear Stella is from, or at least where her brother Andrealphus currently does his business. The Arsgoetia aren't really known to be from any ring in particular, with the exception of Asmodeus, who serves as the Prince of the Lust Ring in the hierarchy of the Seven Princes. In the Arsgoetia, however, he is a king, one of 72 nobles, with Stolas and Paimon being in the Pride Ring, and the others presumably being scattered throughout the other rings as well. With that in mind, Wrath doesn't seem any better or worse a home for someone like Andrealphus, and perhaps in this episode we'll begin to see what his actual role is in the Arsgoetia and why he is here. In this episode, Stolas seems to be coming down to finalize whatever arrangements need to be made for his divorce with Stella. This, of course, is just a trap, and in the recent trailer, Andrealphus says that he thinks Stella deserves a little more for the humiliation that Stolas put her through. The next shot is very hard to understand, but it looks like Stolas is being teleported away, perhaps by his own power, narrowly avoiding being caught by Stryker. In the next shots we see, Stolas is tied up and being taken by Stryker, which seemed really odd because Stolas is a powerful prince of the Arsgoetia. It's strange that he isn't just using his eye magic to turn Stryker to stone during all of this the way he did to that little imp at the end of episode 2 back in season 1. In the most recent preview, however, we saw that Stryker had Stolas caught up in a glowing white rope, which many fans were quick to realize means this rope is likely made from angelic weapons. For those who are not so aware, Helluva Boss is a spin-off of Has Been Hotel, which is airing its proper series this summer. That show is premised on exorcists coming down once a year to exterminate the immortal earthborn sinners that live in the Pride Ring to prevent their overpopulation. These angelic spears we see the exorcists using are the only things capable of killing those otherwise immortal earthborn sinners, whereas normal demons like the imps, hellhounds, and succubus live shorter lives and can be killed by more mundane weapons. These angelic weapons are often left behind at the end of an extermination, and in the Has Been Hotel pilot, we can see them being picked up by demons, which we were told in live streams are later sold on the black market and melted into various different weapons. These various angelic weapons are ideal for killing an earthborn sinner you have a vendetta against, the only way to get that kind of revenge in all of hell. While they are not necessary to kill the lower level natives, royals like Stolas are weak to the angelic weapons. Last time we were in the Wrath Ring, Moxie described how the angelic weapons were changing the way war was waged, alluding to more unique uses for them than just death. Here in the new episode, it looks like Stryker will be using angelic weapons that have been melted down and mixed with sturdy hell rope to create something that can bind a royal like Stolas and prevent them from using any of their demonic powers. I would imagine Stryker chases after Stolas when he tries to fly away in this flash of feathers from the trailer, and then uses the angelic lasso to catch him. While tied up, Stolas would be at the mercy of Stryker, but trust that Blitz and the IMP gang would be able to save him. It's not entirely clear why Stryker isn't just using the angelic weapons we know he has to kill Stolas, but something interesting will likely happen as a result. Based on the previews, the episode will end with a battle against Stryker, during which we can see that Stolas has been left abandoned to the side. I had joked previously about how if Stolas was on train tracks, the train would only kill him if it was angelic tipped, and perhaps with this angelic rope holding him down, the impact of the train could actually kill him. I don't imagine that will actually happen, but it allows for there to be some stakes and fun set to a time limit without the use of a gun, which can be very hard to deal with story-wise without just evolving into a battle for the gun itself. What will be really interesting will be seeing what this plan was actually all for. As we said before, Stryker does still have an angelic gun, and while an angelic lasso would also help, he seems to be wasting his time transporting Stolas. Perhaps there is some bigger plan involved, or perhaps some other characters will have disarmed Stryker earlier in the episode, leading to him having to be creative with the lasso. Perhaps Stolas would use his demonic powers to get the gun far away at first, but then Stryker would surprise him with the angelic rope and bind Stolas down. In the end, I imagine Moxie and Millie will stop Stryker, and of course they'll all escape back to the Pride Ring, but it will be yet another place that the IMP gang just isn't welcome in hell anymore, with Stella, Andrealphus, and Stryker always looming over them. Previously, we had seen an unnamed part of the Wrath Ring that Millie comes from. The Wrath Ring is probably pretty large, and we know very little about its overall geography. While it could take place in Los Satanio, a supposed city mentioned on some Helluva Boss merch detailing a tour of Veroska's band through hell, most of the action takes place in what appears to be caves or mines or tunnels, probably a more rural outskirt of the Wrath Ring as opposed to a major city where Veroska might perform. Regardless of where it takes place, I imagine we will get more information on Andrealphus and what his purpose actually is here. Like Stolas, he is a member of the Ars Goetia, but he is a Marquis and thus of lower rank. His real-life writings have him listed as interested in astrology too, and I could see him wanting Stolas removed, not just because he cheated on Stella, but because he wants Stolas' job. Based off of Stolas' unenthusiastic look through his astrological book in the Season 2 premiere, it would seem like he's been struggling with his job of understanding the prophecies so that he can help Hell. And perhaps the higher-ups like Paimon would be happy to see Stolas replaced by someone who's doing a better job overall, such as Andrealphus. As for Andrealphus' current business, I've theorized he's involved with certain dark trades, such as those specifically for angelic weapons, whether with Ars Goetia approval or behind their backs. This would explain why Stella was able to get the angelic weapons that she supplied to Stryker, and would explain why in this episode with Andrealphus, he is also able to get that rope. It would also explain why Stella was so quick to bring him up as a threat to Stolas back in the Season 2 premiere, as we don't really know what exactly he has over Stolas as a Marquis, and dirty dealings with angelic weapons may be exactly what she is talking about. If these are his dirty dealings, however, he may also have a more legitimate role in the hierarchy of the Ars Goetia, but who's to say? Following all this, we seem to have the episode of Blitz's sister coming up. As the series goes on, more and more characters, both old and new, are added to the list of people who want IMP or Stolas killed, and I expect this to continue. Barbie Wire has said in the trailer that Blitz ruined her life already, and he and Moxie appear to be ruining it again in her upcoming episode. Previously, Barbie Wire and Blitz had an act as the Imp Twins, presumably at the same circus that Blitz and Fizzarolli worked at as young children, the circus of Blitz's father Buxo. My current theory is that Blitz accidentally burned down his family's circus using Hellfire, something that would destroy the actual business infrastructure they had, as well as perhaps even injure some of the imps performing there. Many fans have long speculated that Fizzarolli got his robotic enhancements because of such an accident, something perhaps foreshadowed in episode 2 of the show. While trying to show up and destroy the Robo-Fizz that Blitz worked with at Lululand, he ended up burning down the park, and we see Fizzarolli burning in a way that resembles Blitz's own scar, showing he may have even injured himself in this original accident, something possible considering he has his scar when working for Veroska, but not when working at the circus with his sister. Perhaps destroying the circus ruined Barbie Wire's career, her platform that she performed on, and the episode could end with her being added to the list of people who want revenge against Blitz or IMP. It could even be setting up Buxo to eventually return with a vendetta against Blitz too for destroying his business. The show is largely about expanding the number of people who want IMP dead, as I said, from all the rings of hell to Earth and even heaven, so it would be really cool if all of the fathers got involved in this murder cult against them, with Crimson, Paimon, and perhaps Buxo all teaming up along with the other villains. But what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time.